Here we go. Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Stan Edwards. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
It's a lot of Edwards. You get Edwards. Edwards.
Right.
I'm doing good, man. I got a chance to see Italy. Italy beat Norway in the mixed curling event, get the gold medal out here. I'm trying to dive into this Winter Olympics, and I've also been cheering for Italy since the summer when they had a surprise event in the 100-meter dash. They had a surprise winner, Marcel Jacobs, in the 100-meter dash. They also won the 4x1. And then, my favorite event, the high jump, which I did at the University of Michigan. They had the first ever tie in which a guy that broke his ankle going into the Olympic trials 4 years prior to that, he came back and tied the guy from Qatar, Marcin Bresham, to tie for gold. Italy's cleaning up right now the last year on medals.
Your Olympic update provided by the great Braylon Edwards. Stan Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, and shout out to Nathan Chin, a figure skater from the U.S., and he just put on a show last night. You're talking about a guy that was doing a quadruple?
Yeah, quadruple toe lutz.
He would be a great slot receiver. He goes into his routes, and he jumps up into a triple, and you don't know where to go, and then he catches the ball. But it's glad to be here. Hey, shout out to Nathan. Good job.
Tom Mazawey back from a stint on the shelf.
I belong on the DL forever, man.
How's that ice treating you?
I honestly, I walk outside in the winter and I curse in the air. I'm like, F you, winter. I hate you, winter. I despise you, winter.
Yeah.
Yes, I've fallen twice already in the last 2 weeks.
Unbelievable.
And I can't get up.
Yeah.
Do you wear that thing around your neck, like the whistle that alerts the
automatically goes off?
No, I've had to pick myself up twice off the ice.
Hey, Uncle Maz, I'm slowly getting to become the same way with you with winter
Stan,
here. Getting tired of it, buddy.
I'm done, man. I am so freaking done.
Yep.
Well, Maz, we're welcoming you back today with open arms, and
Thanks,
we're
brother.
certainly
It's good to be here.
glad to see you in the seat.
I would have missed Tuesdays with Stan.
No, Tuesdays with Stan is a must-watch. It has certainly become that over the year. And Stan, I just want to get your take. Braylon and I had an opportunity to speak to it yesterday. Jim Harbaugh is back at Michigan with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind for this job. But now we're starting to hear, Josh Gattis is gone. Is anybody else gone? Your take on the whole Josh Gattis situation, where that leaves Michigan, where that left him, and moving forward, do you see any more defections, if you will?
I don't know if I see any more
defections.
Let me say this. I saw the show yesterday like I see it every day, and I agree 100% with you. I don't like the letter that Josh Gattis put out there to the players. Now, I, for one, believe that everybody should speak their mind publicly or privately. If you got something to say to somebody and someone puts a microphone in your face or asks you the question, say it if it's going to make you sleep better at night. But don't pull the kids in. In the letter that he sent out, he pulled the team, the young guys in there, and it kind of put them in it, in my opinion, in a way that it allows some of them to have fun with it, respond on social media. But he should have never said some of the things he said in the letter to them. Leave that. Whatever the issue is, and it may not have been any issue between Harbaugh and Josh Gattis at all. It may not. There's a lot of assumptions that they are. If it was just that, hey, listen, it's business. I'm offered more money. Michigan can't match it. I'm assuming that's the case. He wanted to go there. That's fine. That's part of the game. It's football. We ask people to be loyal. Sometimes they don't want to be loyal to us. So I get why that happens. But it also seems like that there is something going on in Ann Arbor, again, that may not make sense to a lot of us. Hopefully Teflon Don, Jim Harbaugh, can get by this one as well.
Yeah, I agree, and I've been saying kind of like the same thing. I didn't put it like that eloquently. Like, there is something brewing up there in Ann Arbor, and you look at it, and you just want. Everybody doesn't always have to be on the same page.
You put it out the first freaking day. You hit it on the head.
No, 100%. But you want people to be on the same page. You want everybody. Like, I had a second to kind of look back and see what that Josh Gattis text did, and if it was one player or two player, it would have been kind of different. He did lump a bunch of players in there, and when you do 25, you have no choice but to know that it's going to get out some way, and then some of it's going to look fun and funny, and some of it's going to look serious. So you don't rely on which individual lies on which side. It just creates more chaos, and that was a purposeful move on his way out the door. Yep. It's kind of like I didn't feel a certain way. I didn't feel the respect. I didn't feel like I should have had to lobby for another 100,000. Insert thing here that he didn't like. That was like, oh, and by the way, on the way out the door, send. Yeah.
Right.
By the way, he can just shut his mouth as far as I'm concerned. All right, you're allowed to say what you want, but there's consequences to it too. But I just wonder how many kids are going to go and maybe follow him out the door to Miami. Miami's not a bad place to go play.
I never thought about that.
Not a bad place to play, and
they're going to be back.
One guy who will not follow him out the door to play is J.J. McCarthy. Whether Gattis is gone, whether Harbaugh is gone, J.J. McCarthy came out with a pretty strong statement today saying, or it was last night, I believe, I'm a Wolverine and will be for the entirety of my college career. I came here to find out what being a Michigan man is all about, and after 1 year, I know this is the best place for my development. End quote there from J.J. McCarthy. Interesting too, Stan.
Who wrote this? who the hell wrote this?
Well, either him or his dad.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to that.
Either him or his dad, but
because this is his freshman year. Right now, if this would have been my freshman year at Michigan, I wouldn't be 19 for another couple of days. I don't know if I could have wrote that at 18.
Perfect spot though. Let me.
But I know someone that could have.
Let me come to you with this though, Braylon.
Yeah.
How much more advanced do you feel kids are, a 19-year-old J.J. McCarthy than a 19-year-old Braylon Edwards or a 19-year-old Ryan Ermanni? Because these kids with social media and with these camps and these coaches and all social media, they are constantly, I mean, from the time you're 14, 15 years old now, you are under the microscope. So maybe you do grow up a little bit quicker. I'm not going to say that he didn't write it. I'm not going to say that he did write it. But I feel like these kids have to deal with a lot more just being out in the limelight than we did, more business savvy than we were, at least than I was. I'll speak for myself.
Are these kids smarter than me and you? Hell no. They're not smarter than us. We both got good grades. We have the same type of academic, the same type of curriculum that they had going into their schools. I know UAD was hard as hell. I know Grosse Pointe South wasn't anything to sneeze at.
4.0 student,
See,
by
there
the
we
way.
go.
Thank you.
It's nothing to sneeze at. But the difference is, and I talked about this last week, is the positions that they're put in and what they're forced to deal with now as kids. Like, everything is a business.
Yeah.
So they're learning the business side of things very fast. They're learning it earlier. They're starting to do business transition as it relates to, if I work here, this will prepare me for there, to do here, this, that, and the third. And I know this will take me to this level, and I want to get this money. My brother, Berkeley, who we've had in the studio, Berkeley's been trying to find a way to get to not a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, since he was 12 years old. Berkeley was coming up with business plans on how to get to a Bugatti and things that I'm going to do. If it wasn't football, it would be this. Like, that's the level that they're on, and Berkeley's 26 now, so you're talking about a little earlier. I just think the business sense of things, something like this, I wasn't worrying about that when I was 18, 19. I was worried about playing football.
Well, here's the interesting thing. I think that it's nice to be all in for Michigan as a true freshman. You better be careful about, I'm a Wolverine for life and everything. 5-star kids typically come in with that kind of talent, think about how I'm going to develop to get to the next level and play on Sunday. If he plays every snap next year as a non-starter behind Cade McNamara, and after the following year, is he back up to an incoming freshman, will he sing the same tune? I'm not sure he will. So trying to put something out that I'm here, I don't care what happened, I'm going to live and die here, it's a little early for that. You need to be careful about that. To your second question, I don't know if there's any other defections that's going to happen. Something hit my phone that said, will Jim Harbaugh lose any more coaches? And it just happened to have a picture of Mike Hart at the beginning of the article. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't see a scenario where Mike Hart would leave. Mike Hart, because there's other things about Michigan that Mike Hart loves. One, being a coach there. Two, being a former player there and his family there as well. So I'd be very shocked if Mike Hart gets an offer from anybody intriguing enough to have him leave Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Angelique Shingelis put this out on Twitter, Michigan writer for the Detroit News. Mike Hart, people keep messaging me about him and his status going forward. Don't rule out NFL interest in him during this coaching cycle. That's interesting. You know, one thing about Mike Hart, and he's not a guy that is out there talking all the time. And when you're not talking,
he did his talking as a player.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Little brother comment. Maybe he learned at that point. But when you're not talking, you know, people are talking about you.
Yeah.
You know, people are talking for you. People are talking about you. The intrigue in trying to figure out somebody's personality or what they want to do with their career or their life, if they're silent, man, those rumors can run wild on a guy like Mike Hart. I'd love to hear from Mike Hart where he stands.
I think you definitely can run wild, but I think, just once again, we haven't seen a situation like this here in Ann Arbor with Harbaugh. And once again, you can go back to 82 with Bo, but I don't think that was even the same deal. They offered him, he decided not to go. I don't think you've seen an incident like that. With that being said, I believe everything that would have happened as it relates to people leaving, the domino effects that would have happened, I think pretty much they're about done with. I think you probably can get to where we at. We're at Tuesday now. I figure the last coach was just hired in the NFL yesterday, and I'm sure we'll get to that. I think by the end of this week, if it doesn't happen by Friday, I pretty much think you're done now. But if nothing happens by tomorrow, Thursday, nobody is leaving. There will be no more defections, and I think you'll see people settle in, and then you'll see Jim Harbaugh. Now he'll have to try to, fix the mess that was made, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, one, Jim Harbaugh is locked in. He's a Michigan Tech coach. Number 1A is, if you go to the NFL, you have to be careful where you go because they recycle coaches pretty quickly in the NFL. As the coach from the Tennessee Titans, Cullen. I'm sorry, Tennessee Titans, the Houston Texans. When you go to the NFL, you have to go to the right team and the right tree because more than likely, over 50% of the head coaches, and probably more than that, are going to get fired. And Mike, as a young coach, if you want to continue to move around like that, then that's very risky. He's very settled in Ann Arbor. He's very good at what he does. Yeah. He's very beloved there, and he could be in position to be the next head coach there, if not offensive coordinator. So I just don't see a really intriguing opportunity that would cause Mike Hart to sway to consider the NFL at this point in his career anyway.
Now that Mike McDonald's in Baltimore, who's the new DC?
We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Now, one of the names that Sam Webb said back in 2019 that Larry Foote would come back to Michigan as a DC or a head coach, but fast forward 3 years now, man, he's an NFL guy.
Right.
Larry's on a fast track to being a head coach in 3 years.
So we'll see. I don't know if you throw a ton of jack at him, would he come to Ann Arbor? I don't know, but Again, when you live in the NFL and you don't have to recruit kids constantly 24/7, that is a quality of life situation that you've got to consider.
Not to mention, I've known Larry a long time, played high school against him, played with him at Michigan, played against him in Little League. We played with the same Little League team. Right. Like, he's a guy that likes to get after players, teammates, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if you can necessarily have those kind of conversations and talk that rhetoric with these kids now today without them pouting and getting mad. That's tough. You can do that in the NFL.
That's a great point. That's a significant point there.
And Eastside Purge might come out. It might be a little bit too much for some of these.
I know his dad's got some smack talk on the lane.
Oh, yeah. I worked with him at Fox 2. Larry's dad worked at Fox 2 for a number of years.
Oh, did he really?
Absolutely.
See, the thing about going from pros back to college, it is absolutely the recruiting piece. And that overrides everybody. It's one, being out on the road, being away from your family that time of the year too. But it's the other thing is the way, and you talked about a little bit to Braylon, is how you have to kind of kowtow to parents and kids to try to get in to come to your university. And after you've been in the NFL, that is so tough to do because some of these parents and kids are so unrealistic about their value.
Got to take a break. When we come back, I want to ask Stan about Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan fan base. Is it starting to quiet down a little bit, or does Jim Harbaugh still have some work to do to kind of quiet down some of the critics after really wanting to go to the NFL? And we say flirty. He didn't flirt. If he got a job, he would have went. So ask Stan about that.
He had sex with the NFL.
Right, full blown.
Finally,
full blown.
Yes.
Also, all 9 coaching jobs in the NFL have been set. We'll talk about that as well. Ermanni and Edwards.
Wolverine Sports Network, the bottom line.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
An event, 10 years in the making. Sunday, February 13th, Woodward Sports, Gypsy Vodka, and Syntron present the Stafford Bowl.
Hurry up!
Live broadcast at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Hey, keep stacking these drives now. Keep stacking these drives. Gotta have good ones every time we touch the ball.
Come out with all of your friends for our pregame and stay for the watch party.
Big drive right here, all right? We got to keep pouring it on. Good fundamentals. Let's punch another one in. All right, big drive. Let's go.
The entire Woodward staff will be at the brass rail as Matthew Stafford and the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come experience the Stafford Bowl on massive big screens, drinks, pizza, and DJs. One day, the Lions will make it there. Until then, we have Matthew Stafford and the Stafford Bowl.
Let's go! That's unbelievable! That's unbelievable, and you know it. You know it is, though.
See you Sunday at the brass rail with Woodward Sports.
If you're coming down on Sunday to the brass rail for the Stafford Bowl, guess who will be there? I will be in attendance, so you will get a great opportunity to get some of this gypsy vodka and see me in person. We could talk about 9 versus 9. Who's got it? Is it Burrow? Is it Stafford? It's going to be a great time. We will be down there representing Woodward Sports Network. It's going to be a blast. Gypsy will be in the building. That is Michigan's own gluten-free vodka by Adam and Mike. Michigan State guys bringing some heat this year with Gypsy Vodka. This stuff is amazing. Very pure, corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. Stuff is pure and it's smooth as silk. Go down to your local neighborhood liquor store, ask for Gypsy Vodka. Tell them Braylon sent you, and you might get a discount. And once again, if you're drinking, always remember to drink responsibly.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Stan Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We've got Alex Mayer and Sam Reynolds as well. I'd like to thank everybody in the YouTube chat right now. There have been several days in a row we have smashed that like button, gotten over 200 likes on our YouTube chat during the live show. So much more than that after the live show, but during the live show, over 200 likes. Let's see if we could get there again today. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Mario, Tammy, Adam, Gromit. There's our guy. Juice's Ghost, Mike G. Everybody in there right now, thank you so much. Stan, before the break, I asked a question. Jim Harbaugh, there might be some animosity between a portion of the Michigan fan base and Jim Harbaugh. Where does that sit right now? And does Jim Harbaugh even care about that right now?
I think he does care about it. Where I think it sits is Jim Harbaugh struggled the last 2 to 3 years, and it appears that the team and the culture was getting progressively worse from 2019 till now. And so last year, the 2020 season, it was kind of horrendous, and everybody was talking, should he be fired, and things like that. He came back, and he righted the ship, and it was an outstanding season. And so right after that, he starts to flirt with the NFL. And so a lot of people who were in his corner are saying, wait a minute now, hold on. We allowed you to come back, and we supported you. And now this is what you do. You are a digit or a number or a yay or nay from leaving us. And that doesn't sit very well. So I think there's a lot of fans that are going to take a wait-and-see attitude, because I honestly think losing if we had not lost Josh Gattis, even with that, I think this is going to be a little bit tougher year for us than it was last year. I don't think we'll be as good for a number of reasons because of a lot of defections and everything else. So I think Jim Harbaugh doesn't really care to a certain degree, but I think a lot of fans are going to be, hey, Jim, it's going to take a while for me to warm back up to you.
I'm taking a different approach. I don't think the majority of the fans pretty much care that he flirted. They care that he's back, because Jim has one of those kind of followings at Michigan. He has a great following where they love Michigan. Even when he was doing bad, they wanted Jim Harbaugh. They would fight. They would argue on Twitter. They would argue on social media about why you need him, why he's a good coach here. And that has been the case since 19 when they got beat by 50. And then in 2020, infamous COVID year. Now 2021 when he gets it all back on track. So I think the fans right now are just happy he's back. And they're looking to move forward, and they're looking to try to do what we did this past year. The problem is going to come with no Gattis trying to figure out the move at the offensive coordinator, trying to figure out the move at defensive coordinator. The people that left on defense, talking about David Ojabo, talking about Josh Ross, talking about Aiden Hutchinson, talking about Mike McDonald as the defensive coordinator. If you get into a situation this upcoming season, first 6-7 games are easy. Michigan will be ranked in the top 5 after 6 games, top 5, top 4. They'll be in there. When you get into later in the season, and this is going to be a tougher season, like Dad said, Penn State game is going to be a tough one this year. Michigan State's going to be a hell of a hard game. Ohio State's game is going to be tough. Now go to a bowl game. We never seem to be able to win bowl games. After the season, I think, is when you'll start to see some of those fans make a pinch about it. It's like, you know what? All the things that happened with, he said he was flirting with the NFL, then Mike McDonald, who was going to leave anyway, so don't let that be one that bothers you. Then Josh Gattis leaves. Then you didn't pick necessarily who a fan might have thought to be the right offensive coordinator to take over. And then you'll start to see people come back and point to this moment. I don't think anybody's going to have a problem now. I think he has his following is that strong. But wait till next December. If it doesn't go right, then you'll start to see a lot of pointing back to January through February of 2022.
I think one of the biggest losses that is equally as a big loss of Aiden Hutchinson is Hassan Haskins. I think you cannot really think that Blake Corum will be that type of back. Blake Corum is a big playback. He can get in space and make things happen. But Hassan Haskins kept the team on the field. Play after down after series after series. He was plugging away. He moved the chains. He allowed the defense to get rest. He allowed Michigan to make play action a big part of their game. Losing him, if we don't replace a guy that can get 5-6 yards of crack and keep the series going like he did last year, I think it's going to be a really hard time for us to move the ball like we did a year ago.
There isn't a player, Stan and Braylon, that I'm as more excited to see the development next year than Donovan Edwards.
I knew it.
I just, what he did in the last 2-3 games last year, Georgia, Ohio State, and maybe 1 or 2 flashes before that game, I just think this guy is on the precipice of being one of the great backs in Michigan football history, one of the great football players at Michigan, because we haven't seen much of that talent. I mean, he can catch the ball, he can run the ball, he can throw the ball. Now the challenge for Michigan seems to me to find a guy that could utilize those talents. You not waste a guy like Donovan Edwards, not waste a guy like Ronnie Bell and an Andrell Anthony, not to mention a list of 5 guys you got at wide receiver. I mean, you've got 2 tight ends. Offensively, this team should be as impressive as anybody. Now the goal is to make sure you get somebody in there that is willing to kind of showcase what these players do well.
Well, for me, Donovan Edwards, heck of a talent. He actually stole our gene pool from somewhere, as well as the last name. Very talented kid, and he can do everything you said. What I want to see him is have 25 carries 3 weeks in a row and come back and continue to come back and play. It's one thing to be talented. It's another thing to make sure you're taking care of your body and you've worked in the off season to be able to do that week in and week out. Now, I listened to your show yesterday and I listened to the person you had on there, and I've heard him say that for years. All this talent you got there, and talented guys and guys producing are 2 different things. There are a lot of talented wide receivers on that roster. Are they going to be productive wide receivers now? I don't know. And that's what I'm waiting to see. I don't assume because their star ranking, their speed, and their skills.
Isn't there a lot of that on the coaches, though, too, Stan?
Absolutely, it is.
Run, pass.
Absolutely,
run,
it is.
pass. If I see another first down run up the middle, I think they just ran it up the middle on Georgia again on first down.
Yeah, it's on the coaches as well to develop those players, and it's on the players to develop themselves as well. So I don't assume that that's automatically going to happen on both sides. So I think we'll be a good team. I don't know that we'll be as good as we were a year ago.
Yeah, I think it goes back to, looking at the players, looking at the talent this year, guys that are gone. Josh Gattis is no longer here. What Josh Gattis finally did correct, as a lot of people will say, because it did take him a while to get to last season. What he finally did correct, he knew when to bring out the certain moments at the right time. Look at Andrell Anthony. Nobody had talked about Andrell Anthony until that Michigan State game. Look what happened at Michigan State game. He got off. They saw something in that game. They knew him coming underneath routes would be very good for them. They liked something they saw him in the red zone too, in terms of his size over the Michigan State's defensive backs. Look at what they did with A.J. Henning on the touchdown play against Ohio State, the very first touchdown. We were waiting for that play all season, waiting for it to happen. Guess who wasn't waiting for it? Ohio State. They scored a touchdown. You look at the Donovan Edwards pass against Iowa. People forgot that he was a quarterback his last year at West Bloomfield High School. Gattis did a great job of filling these players into spots all throughout the year, especially you look at how he plugged the tight ends. I won't say great. He did a really great job the last 6 games. He got there, but once he got there, man, did he get there. That's what I'm saying. Going into this year, who's going to fill that role? Who's going to be the coach that can figure out Andrell Anthony? Who's going to be the coach to put Ronnie Bell on the same offensive line? Who's going to put him in the same position, the right position to have success? It's going to be interesting. You got Baldwin, you got a couple of tight ends. How do you put it all together, though, is going to be interesting.
Well, I hope Ronnie Bell comes back to his old form, and that's not guaranteed either. He had a pretty serious injury, and we don't know how long it's going to take for him to get back to the form he was prior to the injury. But Michigan has to leave the country in 5- and 4-star bus. We've had so many 5 stars come in here who didn't pan out. Don't know how they got ranked. Someone got ranked that high to begin with. We had all this potential, and it just didn't work out. That happened time and time again. And until I see some production on the field, I could care less what kind of skill or ranking a guy has.
I don't blame you. I mean, you look at a guy like Rashawn Gary. What did he really do at Michigan? Didn't develop in the pros. He's a damn good player. Yeah. Quiddy Pay's another one.
Right. Development, man. Developing players, and that's why I'm glad it looks like Ron Bellamy is now the receivers coach.
Exactly.
Like when the receivers coach, when I watch the receivers, you don't see a whole lot of the route tree when you watch the Michigan wide receivers. You see quick screens, you see post routes, and you see go routes. I want to see the tree. I want to see curls. I want to see 15-yard comebacks, etc. So I'm excited to see that with Ron Bellamy being the coach.
Gentlemen, I want to move to the NFL next. All 9 coaching jobs set. The Lions have named a new offensive coordinator, and the Texans have made a hire. We'll get to that, Brian Flores, with really some interesting comments to say about that as well. Get your take on it. Plenty to get to on a Tuesday. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
And a miraculous catch.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Hey gang, I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. Yep, they're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house. It tells the bad guys one thing. It says, stay out. Stay the bleep out. That's right, Guardian Alarm. Whether for your home or business, a good defense helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe. 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business. Control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide. All you have to do is call this number. It's 1-800-STAY OUT.
Stay out.
What's that number? 1-800-STAY OUT. Stay out. Stay out of here.
Yeah, Stan.
Guardian Alarm. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Guardian Alarm, your local security expert.
Ask for Jason.
Ask for Jason. Tell them Guardian Alarm sent you. That's right. Okay, guys. So, couple of news and notes. Ben Johnson going to be elevated to the Lions offensive coordinator position. Now, Ben Johnson was the tight ends coach. He had some significant influence in the offensive scheme towards the end of the season when Jared Goff played well. Lions were 3-3 in their last 6 games. A lot of people have rave reviews about this movement. I have nothing to say. I don't know.
He was the OC in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
as
he
well.
was the OC in the Senior Bowl. I have really no comment on it, believe it or not, because I don't know much about Ben
Correct.
Johnson other than the fact that he was, an offensive assistant last year and really took a significant role when the Lions started playing some good offensive football last year towards the end of the season. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to react positively or negatively to it other than to say good for him.
I trust Dan Campbell. I trust the head coach because he seems to be a no-nonsense guy, and he's about the business of making the team the best way he can. And he doesn't feel to me like a guy that would try to get his buddy an opportunity or have friends that he want to elevate that are not don't have the experience to elevate. So I trust he's making a guy that hasn't had that opportunity before, but has displayed the business and football acumen to be a good coordinator. So he's he elevate him. Until I see differently, I'm on Dan Campbell's team.
And it appears Aaron Glenn will stay here in Detroit, which I think is the most important, significant move that the Lions have made this offseason. And maybe it was made a little bit for him. Aaron Glenn was interviewed for a couple of head coaching jobs. He did not get one. The Saints tabbed their defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, to be the new head coach there. The Texans hire Lovie Smith
That's an odd one to me.
That is an odd one to me. They elevate him. So...
Not to me. Here's why it's not odd to me. Not Lovie Smith. It's hiring within with the New Orleans Saints and the Texans. When you are trying to make sure in the climate that we're in right now that you don't want to make a mistake with that head coach position, there's a lot of stuff out there. Now, Lovie Smith appears to be, we need to protect ourselves, so we need to hire a safe black guy. That's how that felt. Because Lovie Smith has not been successful every place he went. Although when he got fired from Chicago, he had won 10 games. He had no business being fired from Chicago, but he was. So, but when you hire within, it does allow you to buy time to when the right guy is available.
Last year, I'm sorry, Brady.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Last year they hired the inside guy, and why is his name popping out of my head right now? The Texans. Dave Culley.
Dave Culley, yeah.
He was on their staff. They had him, and he did a phenomenal job. They played hard for him. They could have beat the Titans twice. The rumor was that owner wanted him to lose too, and he didn't want to lose, and that's why he lost his job. But they already had an inside guy.
For some odd reason, I gave a mulligan to the Houston Texans front office, and they have not done a good job in a lot of different areas. But I get why you hire within. It does allow you to buy time. You have safe. You don't have a whole lot of turnover in your culture, and you kind of have guys in there. I mean, you look at your friend Andre Johnson, who was a consultant for the team, the former wide receiver, the all-time wide receiver. He was part of helping build the program, and then he just kind of backed off and publicly said, I don't know what they're doing over there, and I don't want any part of it.
That's a tough place, man. Andre Johnson came out with that, and then D-Hop, he responded on social media right after he said that. He said what Dre said, and this is when D-Hop still was with the Houston Texans. He's no longer with them. He's now with the Cardinals, who they got an interesting situation too. Yeah. But when it comes to Lovie Smith, I just think sometimes you look at a situation where all these coaches, with the exception of Peterson, none of them had experience. Right. None of the coaches had experience, except for Lovie and Peterson. Doug Peterson, coach, was hired by the Jacksonville Jaguars, Super Bowl champion with the Philadelphia Eagles.
That was a darn good hire there.
But real damn good hire. Damn good hire. We talked about it on Monday. I think so much is made about the 36, the 37, the 38, the young guy that's coming off the Kyle Shanahan tree, which is an extension of Mike Shanahan's tree. Everything is being said about that. Sometimes you got to go back to your roots, and you look at a guy like Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith has been coaching for a very long time at a very high rate. When he's been in good situations, he's done a damn good job. Illinois is not a damn good situation. Right. And the Bears have stubbed their toe on purpose more often than not. So you can even look at that situation. But Tampa, he was right there. He was close. He had some things in place. Sometimes you just want to go with some stability. A guy you know can coach, a guy has a defensive mind, a guy that's well respected, like they just said in that post. Sign, beard, delivered.
Would it be interesting to see how well Doug Peterson is with the Jacksonville Jaguars? He's got his quarterback.
I think he's going to be damn
good. But when
I
look at how he handled and the Philadelphia Eagles as well, he wasn't married to Carson Wentz. He wasn't. Carson kept getting hurt. Nick Foles came in.
That was Frank Reich's boy.
Nick Foles caught fire, and he didn't try to force feed the high-paid, high-draft choice. They won a Super Bowl with that. And that's a smart coach. That's a coach that knows how to do that. So we'll find out, is he that good of a coach, or is Shad Khan, the owner down at Jacksonville Jaguars, a buffoon? Because he's going into a good situation. If that doesn't work out for that coach, that means that's the wrong organization to be working for.
And that feels like, too, that Shad Khan chose Trent Baalke over Byron Leftwich as well, because Leftwich said, he'll go, but he needs his own general manager. I don't blame him, because you get one shot at these things 99% of the time. The Dolphins going with 49ers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniels as well, the offensive coordinator at the San Francisco 49ers. He was seen FaceTime in Tua. I mean, it just goes to show you as well that Tua is their guy down there in Miami. I mean, he's on the plane FaceTiming with us.
So let me do a profile on him. He looks like a CEO of a tech startup.
He looks,
especially out there in San Francisco.
Yeah, he's right out there in the valley anyway.
There's a rapper that looks just like him. His name is Logic. I'm gonna pull a picture. He looks just like Sam. Am I right? He looks like Logic. Logic is Jewish
exactly
and black.
like Logic.
He looks just like Logic. But what I was gonna say about him, the thing that I love about this moment is not even this moment. when he was talking about when he came in to do his interview, talking about somebody coming being prepared to do an interview, he was very prepared. One of the first things he said, no. He said, Tua's going to be our guy. He said, I know how to work with Tua. This is what I'm going to bring to Tua. And he legitimately came with a game plan and talked about what he was going for Tua, how they can have success with Tua, how they can have more success with Tua, the things that he wants to do, don't want to get him, things that they can bring in place. He had this whole spiel about keeping Tua. It's the smartest thing I've ever seen. Tua can win you games. Now, if you want to get something on the back end, if you want to do some other move outside of that, then that's on the ownership. That's on the ownership wanting to make a move. That's on the GM. He said, I got Tua. We got this fixed. It was brilliant.
Well, that's how he got the job.
He didn't have Trey Lance fixed.
No.
He worked with Trey Lance in San Francisco, and he ain't ready.
No, to your point, Mass, I'm with you. I think he was just trying to get the Dolphins' job because I don't think Tua is a quarterback you can win with.
Right.
I don't think he's a total loser or a bum, but he is not a quarterback that will take you deep in the playoffs for years to come. Yeah. And he may have been saying that to save face in front of the public, and he told probably Steve Ross and Chris Greer, we got to get another guy in here. Let's work with Tua until the right guy becomes available, either in the draft or in free agency.
That's kind of what I meant.
I wish I remembered who said this, and I'm sorry because I'd love to give you credit for it, but there's quarterbacks you could win with, and there's quarterbacks that you win because of. And Tua seems to be a quarterback you can win with.
Kind of.
But not
and I'm not even sure he's in that category.
Right?
I don't know that Tua is not right on the border of one you can win with or one that keeps you from winning more of the games than you can win.
He already had Garoppolo. So keep going.
Guys, speaking of keep going, I want to continue on here because there's so much material I want to hit in this first hour. Stephen A. Smith and Rob Parker both went after Tiki Barber hard yesterday. You'll hear some of that.
Was it deserving?
Next. Was it deserving?
Tiki's a family member of the show, so we got to do our homework.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year we present the 2022 Cuba Sunday Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid Sunday Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Cintron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear. Thank you to Chili Peppers Tanning.
Hey guys, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag. It's where I put my sports wagering, and it's where I'm betting the Cincinnati Bengals +4. I'm going to take them today just in case that spread goes down a little bit. I think that's the play, and you can do it. If you're a first-timer, you're really in luck because you can use the promo code Woodward. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. That's it. Just use the promo code Woodward on MyBookie.ag. Bet the NBA, the NHL. Hey, you got the All-Star game coming up in the NBA as well. Lots of trades going on before Thursday's trade deadline. Take a look at MyBookie.ag. Don't forget to use the promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please reach out and call the Michigan Gambling Problem Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hey, man, I don't know, man. Sam read yesterday. His MyBookie might have been better than yours,
man.
Sam
might have been better, man. We got to give Sam a read coming up here.
No, I'm just joking, man.
Guys,
Sam did a good job there.
I guess I want to start with Stephen A. We'll do that audio first. So Stephen A. went on.
Stephen A. sitting right next to you.
First take yesterday.
Let me hear you.
And look, I'll say the word. It felt like Stephen A. threatened Tiki Barber. I don't know how else to say it.
Oh, he did.
It was a threat to Tiki Barber. Here's what Stephen A. had to say to Tiki.
Tiki, you don't know who the hell I know. I've been a journalist for almost 30 years. I know a few people within the Giants organization. I know a lot of stuff about you, my brother, that I would never say because I'd have the decency not to say those things. Chill out, watch yourself, and know who you're talking about. That's all I want to say.
All right. Well,
so if you don't know what that's referring to, so basically Brian Flores named the Giants organization in the alleged racism lawsuit into hiring practices. Well, Tiki Barber, who's been with the Giants organization for 25 years, has come out very strongly for the Mara family and said, I know these guys, they are not racist, yada, yada, yada. And you've got Stephen A. saying this. Rob Parker went on Deadspin and just crucified Tiki Barber. We have that for you as well.
With the Odd Couple.
They were talking about, obviously, the situation, and Tiki Barber really stood up for the Giants and the Mara family, the owners, and got emotional about it. Here he is.
I know them intimately. So when I say I don't believe they're racist, it's because I know they're not. And yeah, they don't have the right head coach, the black head coach, even though there's black players. They don't have a black general manager or a black coordinator. I know they're not a racist organization. And so for Dwayne to try to boil me into saying something that's not true, it's frustrating because you don't know my truth. And you don't know my interactions with this Giants organization.
All right, Rob.
Chris, I'm going to say this, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm just going to I'm going to go for this. Shame on Tiki Barber. Shame on Tiki Barber. I'm glad you got so passionate and so worked up about defending the Maras. And whether or not, I'm not here to call them racist, Chris, or whatever you want to say. But it's been 100 years in this league of unfair and disgraceful hiring practices. Even so bad that they had to implement a rule called the Rooney Rule, which would force white owners to even interview black people. To interview them, Chris. You know why?
Right, not to hire them.
Not to hire them, to interview them because coaching cycles went on and on and on, and people were hired, and guess what? No black people were even interviewed. I'm glad you're so emotional for the Maras. I wish you were that emotional for the plight of the black coaches. But Brian Flores doesn't matter to you. Neither does Eric Bieniemy or Byron Leftwich. Okay? What you got to do is go out of your way to talk about how they treat you.
So that was right there. Yeah, that was Rob Parker, Chris Broussard talking about on Fox Sports Radio, talking about the Tiki Barber thing. Guys, I don't know where to go with this because I was totally shocked by the called out nature.
Let me start. I'll start with just the last thing he said. I'll let Dad run with it, and I kind of respond to that. That's the biggest part of that message for me, is what Rob said. Tiki Barber said they never were racist to me, and that's what you'll hear a lot of people when they defend people of the opposite color trying to represent for them, and they say, hey, you know, I don't know what this racism, where this is coming about, this speculation. They were never racist to me, and blah blah blah. I say, Negro, you're a Hall of Famer. Like, who you were for that franchise, what you did for that franchise, no, they're not going to come at you. And then the relationship that you have, but then also you weren't in those meetings when they were talking about hiring black coaches or not hiring black coaches. Those private meetings that they have, the ones that go into collusion texts and all those type of deals, not saying that's exactly what took place in New York, just saying other issues that are out there, like the Collins situation, like we're starting to see come out of the woodworks. Like, were you in those situations? Were you sitting next to them when they were doing that? Were you sitting next? That's what Rob is getting at. He's saying just because they weren't necessarily racist to you, why would they be racist to you? Why would they be racist to Michael Strahan? Why would they be racist to Lawrence Taylor? Why would they be racist to those people? They're not going to be racist to those people. And that's what Rob Parker is trying to get across. So just because you had a blessed experience, oh, trust me, I've had a blessed experience at a bunch of places that other people haven't had necessarily the best experience because of the color of their skin. That's more so what he wanted. And then how about you say, you know what? I don't know enough about the Tiki situation, or I don't know enough about what the Giants did or did not do. I know that they've never been racist to me. That's all I can speak for. And then say something like that. The way in which he did it, he tried to say they weren't racist, but he didn't have enough grounds to stand on for that. That's what Rob was saying.
Well, at the sake of name dropping, I met Tiki Barber before. I was in Steve Ross's office in the Time Warner building in New York because I'm in real estate. He invited me up there to talk about some real estate stuff. And Tiki Barber actually walked in. And I recognized him. And I wasn't introduced to him as a former NFL running back like he was or anything like that. I introduced myself and I said, hey, I'm a good friend of Gerald Ingram. Gerald Ingram was a running back at the University of Michigan who played with me, who was Tiki Barber's running back coach for years with the New York Giants under Tom Coughlin. And Tiki just kind of glad-handed me and just walked past me like, why are you speaking to me? I'm like, okay, fine. What was the biggest scandal before last week with Brian Flores? What was the biggest scandal in the NFL? It was a few months ago, and it was John Gruden. And guess who came out to John Gruden's defense and didn't get skewered? Father Flanagan, Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy said, hey, he was the best guy I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm shocked about that. Guess why Tony Dungy didn't get skewered like that? Because he's a good dude. Tiki Barber is not. People are lining up to smack him on his behind because he's not a good dude to anybody unless you're in his circle with him. And that's why people are treating him the way he is right now, because whether he made a mistake in what he said then for the Giants is how he's conducted himself over the years to people who he don't think is on his level. So I'm getting in line too. He's a punk and he deserves it.
You know what's funny about that is I've heard that before about just him not being the most likable guy in the world, and there was some friction there because everything that is Michael Strahan right now with the Good Morning America, with the Fox NFL
Tiki
Sunday,
was right there.
That was Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber was Michael Strahan before Michael Strahan was.
Absolutely.
He was a $20-30 million a year media mogul before Michael Strahan was. But something went awry with Tiki at NBC, and that was allegedly sleeping with an intern or something, an assistant.
Wound up marrying her.
An assistant who he wound up marrying.
Left his wife
but
and
that
kids.
caused a lot of friction at NBC, and they eventually got rid of him. So maybe there is a lot of bad blood there because Tiki Barber sees, Michael Strahan's career now and the $20 to $30 million a year that Strahan's making, and he says that should be me.
So where people can make judgment mistakes in a relationship like Tiki Barber and get skewered and lose that kind of job, then you have a guy named Robert Kraft who gets caught on film doing something in the after-hour parlor.
He's a good dude, though.
And everybody said,
I don't really know what you're talking about,
Leave
Stan.
him alone.
I don't know what
Leave
you're
that
talking
man
about.
alone because he's a good dude.
The videotape
and everybody
was
and it just went away.
You know what
That's the
videotape
difference.
was erased.
But that's the difference.
You know what I love about
Tiki
that?
Barber should have figured that out a long time ago, and he hasn't.
All that stuff came out with like Robert Kraft, Meek Mills, and they were hanging out. All that came out before that happened. That incident, when that happened, all of us, we was like, I don't know what they talking about.
Robert's a good dude.
Robert Kraft.
Not the Robert Kraft that I know.
Maybe Kraft macaroni and cheese, but it wasn't Robert Kraft.
Oh my gosh,
But
good
it
stuff.
goes back to the Hall of Fame stuff that we talked about, trying to bring it back down. It's called like and dislikability, man. You talk about David Ortiz. David Ortiz got popped for cheating, but guess what? Everybody loves David Ortiz.
Yeah.
Roger Clemens, Kurt Schillings, and Barry Bonds. Nobody likes either one of those three.
A-Rod.
And they really don't like him.
He leads the pack.
Dude,
so
I mean, look,
they don't like them. They love David Ortiz. Like and dislike.
And the same thing with Derek Jeter, right? I mean, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, who's New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this whole thing is about likability.
It is.
The whole thing about life is about likability.
I hope Michael
You build
Strahan
relationships with somebody.
Is Strahan a good guy? Please tell me he is.
So Stray's
From what I know, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I hope so.
Stray's a good dude. Actually last time I was in New York, I ran into him at a restaurant called Pergola, and just like we had never left. It's a great conversation.
Good.
Really appreciate that. And even with Tiki, I've had nothing but good conversations with Tiki. But once again,
he was good to us.
Exactly. But once again, it goes to the conversation that I had. Tiki knows me. We played against each other. We hung out in New York. Like when Tiki sees me, we talk. It's Tiki and Braylon. When he saw my dad, didn't know who my dad was, and he put the other like the other facade on. He put the other face on, the other guys on. So just always be nice, man. If I've been wrong to you, man, my apologies out there. I'm trying to apologize to people now. I'm just joking.
Hey, all I know is I played in the backfield with 3 Heisman Trophy winning running backs. Tiki's all right. He's all right.
Just okay. Hey, guys, I want to get into some Super Bowl talk. Maz, you say the number's going up a little bit, right?
It's 4, looking at 4.5, baby.
Staring down 4.5 in the face. I want to get Stan and Braylon's take on the Super Bowl. We are 5 days away from Super Bowl 56. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford, your Corvette king. GM announced the all-new 2023 Corvette Z06. It's flat-plane V8 capable of 670 horsepower, making it the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in production. You ready for this? How about 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds?
That's dangerous.
0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds.
I love this.
For more, go to CorvetteKing.com, or for all your other Chevy or Cadillac needs, LesStanford.com, or hit them up by phone, 313-565-6000. Les Stanford Chevrolet, find
new roads.
There you go.
Find them.
Let me tell you about
this. As far as what Detroit fans are, I mean, they were extremely loyal. They were great. They were passionate. All the things you want fans to be. Unbelievable to me and my wife and my family and the community. How many times we were out to eat or playing with our kids in the park, whatever it was, and the support that we felt from them. Not only when the times were good, but when my wife was going through, some of the things that she was going through health-wise, or maybe, we weren't winning football games. They were always supportive and people that cared about not only the Lions and me, but my family and us as people. So, always going to have a soft spot for Detroit in my heart, and just appreciate them.
Media. So there's Matthew Stafford yesterday talking about the fans of Detroit. He certainly appreciates everything that is happening here.
You saying more than TB12 in New England?
Yeah, I mean, right. He's not getting a lot of love over there at TB12 in New England, but nonetheless, I think people are generally happy for the guy. I mean, he's saying all the right things on his way out the door, and that's really what you hope for in a breakup, right?
Yeah, there's such thing as a breakup, and then there's like mutually going your separate ways. I mean, I guess that still is a breakup too, but it's just gone on and on and
Welcome
on
to Super
and
Bowl
on
week.
and on and on and on, and damn, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Like I still wish him success. I'm still cheering for him. I mean, it's hard to cheer against either one of these quarterbacks, to be honest.
Right.
Hard to cheer against Burrow, and it's hard to cheer against Stafford, and Wade Stafford's in the situation. They've been great. They've been gracious. I appreciate all that. Still, Kelly Stafford with the Indomitian story, that was great. Like, I'm like, but all right, man, can we find somebody else? Who else has a story? Is Leonard Floyd doing something? Can we see what's going on with him? I'm sure somebody else has a story. I would like to talk about that now.
Well, the thing about Matt Stafford is he never has a bad day in front of the microphone. He always owns his stuff, and he never criticizes anybody.
And won't give you anything.
No, he won't. And because he never has a bad day, which leads everybody to believe that he's a solid, really good guy, and everybody loves a good story about him, and it's not going to play out. And for me, I'm at, again, the beginning of the line who want him to win this Super Bowl. I'm not so sure that's going to happen.
Because there's the guy that wears number 9 on the other side, too, that just seems to me like he's just got everything you could ever possibly want in a starting quarterback, in a leader of your franchise. And you say, well, the Cincinnati Bengals were the worst team in the NFL 2 years ago. Now they're on, they're 60 minutes away from hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. How does that happen? Good drafting? Yeah, sure. I mean, there's one guy at the top of the draft that they got. And, this is all one guy. And I know, look, Jamar Chase, obviously, right? If they draft Penei Sewell or if they draft somebody else, they're not here either. They're going to be right at home with the Lions. So I understand. They had the most ideal 2 years of a draft in the history of the NFL. To get Joe Burrow 1 year and then to pair him with what Jamar Chase might be the best wide receiver in the league, not named Cooper Kupp right now. I mean,
I don't disagree.
Yeah,
I don't disagree.
And this is just his freshman year, his rookie year. So, I mean, come on. I mean, a little bit of luck, too. I mean, the Lions have the number 2 pick this year. We can't find a player. I mean, the Bengals get the pick, and you're like, slam dunk.
This is unheard of. You have a second-year quarterback and a first-year wide receiver in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And they're playing without really a great line. Their line is suspect.
Sucks.
Riley Reef is on that line. Okay? There's a lot of ex-Lion offensive linemen that are still around.
Right.
That other teams make better.
Right.
I guess maybe he's one of them. Minnesota did it. San Francisco did it with Laken Tomlinson. You can go on and on. But this team, they need to win this game because I'll tell you what. Everyone says, oh, Joe's young. He'll be back even if they lose.
Dan Marino.
Ask Dan Marino.
Absolutely.
Ask Dan Marino.
Absolutely.
We've never seen someone operate at the level that Joe Burrow is operating at right now. Like, we've never seen that happen. If you just take a second to step back and just kind of put everything out there. He gets drafted 2 years ago. He didn't even play a full season. He tore his ACL. So now this year he's coming back off an ACL. So him and Dak Prescott are going to fight for comeback player of the year. And guess what? It ain't going to be close because he's in the Super Bowl. So now you got ACL injury. You come back from that. You're playing on a team that the offensive line is just terrible. They're awful. You sneak into the playoffs, okay? You get into the playoffs. You beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, that was a good win. They tried to come back at the end, but you stood the test of time. You made the play at the end. You made the play that counted. Then you go into the next round. You win that one too. Oh, despite the fact that you were sacked 9 times. Just look at quarterbacks in year 2 or year 3. Just look at how Kyler Murray looked when he couldn't get a pass off. And I'm not comparing the two because they had a lot more of the offensive side in terms of their skill positions than Kyler did. But just look at how he looked in year 3 in the playoff. Deer in the headlights. Like, we saw Joe Burrow, who, oh, by the way, for some odd reason, never fumbled when he got hit 20 times and got sacked 9 times. Stayed in there. Made the throw. Knew when he got a chance at the end that, you know what, I still could do something. I still got a team around me. I still got my boy Jay Chase. Shout out to the 2019 National Champs. Go Tigers. Knew he had his boy on the squad. Got past them. Turns around and beats the team that everybody was like, they're finally on track. They're finally going to do it. Oh, ask Sam about it. Sam's still hurt about the Kansas City Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes dropping that dud to Jamar Chase. And that is Joe Burrow. We've never seen anything like Joe Burrow in terms of year 2 come in, take over like this. This is insane. It's not even just his numbers. It's the coolness, the regalness that he plays with, and the chillness. Most quarterbacks in that Tennessee Titans game would have gave up, went home, tucked their tail between their legs. They would have got the finger pointing to the offensive line. You guys suck. I can't get it done. And they would have had every right to do so. Not Joey Cool. Joey Cool said, they don't call me that for nothing. Stay tuned.
Well, here's what's interesting. They act like this is just another game for them, and they're just not overly enthused just by being there. They've showed up at Super Bowl later than any other team in the history of the Super Bowl. You don't hear them making a whole bunch of, hey, we're just glad to be here and all that. There's something about this team that they don't know that they're supposed to be scared and underdogs. They're just showing up like. So I think one of two things are going to happen. They're either going to get blowed out, and it's going to be in the fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter. They're going to turn everybody, I told you we'll be here. And I think it's going to be more of the latter.
You got to pick for me here, Stan. This is the last time we'll see you prior to the game.
I do have a wish, and I have a pick.
Okay.
My wish is Matthew Stafford to get a Super Bowl ring. My pick is L.A. Rams 27, Cincinnati Bengals 34.
Whoa.
High scoring.
There you go.
Yep. High scoring.
Good.
Yep.
Maz, I know you had a Pro Bowl
I did.
question for.
Now, you guys talked about it yesterday.
We did.
Unfortunately, I was under the weather. I didn't get a chance to see it. Deion Sanders came out and said what a disgrace it was. And I was texting you guys when the game was. I couldn't even watch the game. For me not to be able to watch an NFL game.
Let me read the Deion tweet.
You can't get worse.
Lord help me. I'm watching the NFL Pro Bowl, and I remember when we were so proud and appreciative of that accolade. We went to Hawaii to prove we were more than worthy, so we competed at practice and in the game. I wanted you to know that prime was prime. What happened and when?
Alex, play that cut, the 2007 versus the 2022 game. Look at this, Dan. On the top. Let's see it.
This is the bottom now.
Now this is
Sean Taylor.
That's Sean Taylor running over the punter, Brian Morstead. And up top, it's basically two-hand touch. That's what the game was on Sunday. It's a disgrace. Put up Shannon Sharp's reaction to it now. Here's what the great Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp had to say, right?
He said, "This isn't football. I love the NFL, but this is embarrassing."
I want to ask you this, Dan. Do you remember back in the day, the college all-star game?
I do.
Against the Super Bowl team?
I do remember that.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
They don't play that anymore.
No,
I remember
they
it ended. The Steelers were playing against the All-Stars, and it rained. It was like a monsoon, and they just let this walk off the field. Used to be played in Chicago, opening day of preseason.
Yep.
Now, someone put up something. I don't want to steal it from them. I think I might even have it here. The better idea than the Pro Bowl, Alex. Put this one up.
Instead of the Pro Bowl, take the two teams with the worst records in the league, the Jaguars and the Lions. Let them play one game to determine the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft.
I like that.
Figure that'd be
I
a
like that.
bit
How cool
more
is that?
competitive.
I like that.
All right, now go forward, because remember, you're getting $100,000 for every loss. Brian Flores and the Miami owner. This eliminates it. Do an NFL draft lottery, and that eliminates dumping at the end of the year.
Yeah. See, what happened is, after the collective bargaining agreement was signed, each year there's a lot of give and take in the collective bargaining agreement, and the players get more say-so in other areas because they don't have guaranteed contracts, and because they don't have guaranteed contracts, they're trying to find every avenue they can to have less and less contact when not warranted.
I'm just saying, man, to watch that game on Sunday it can't be played anymore. It just can't be.
They have to fix that.
It's a sin.
Yeah.
The great Stan Edwards. We will see you next Tuesday after a Super Bowl win for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Absolutely.
His prediction. That's what he says. All right. Hey, by the way, we are 8 likes away. Let's see if we can get to 100 in the next couple of minutes here. 100 likes.
That's it?
That's all we need. 100 per hour gets us to 2 hours.
All right,
200 over 2 hours. So that's what we're shooting for.
Before Dad leave, rest in peace to Al Glick, longtime family member, donor at the University of Michigan. He was loved. He will be missed.
Absolutely.
And he was one of a kind.
Mr. University of Michigan, Al Glick.
That's right. And with that, we'll take a break. Hour number 2 of the program. When we come back, Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
It's Maz for the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck, Michigan, and your host, Chris and Noni Hutt. Chris Hutt invented folding. What's folding? It's throwing football at bowling pins. That's awesome. You can play by yourself, with your friends and family as well. 2 ways to play: $10 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation as well. $120 for up to 10 people. You get that lane for 2 hours. They have over 100 beers, the $2 mystery beer machine, multiple full bars, and you can bring your own food in or even have it delivered. Just go and check them out. The Folding Warehouse at Hamtramck. Come get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
Rutgers head coach Steve Pickle went with the rotation of just 6 players in Saturday's win over MSU, with all 5 starters playing 30 minutes or more. You would think the Spartans could take advantage by having more depth, but in college basketball, the team that wants it more usually wins, and the Scarlet Knights simply wanted it more, as you can see from all these effort plays that turned into easy points. They still may be at the top of the Big Ten standings, but Michigan State and Tom Izzo need to take a long look in the mirror. What's going on, everyone? I'm Alex Mayer, and this is the Michigan State Update, giving you everything you need to know about Spartans basketball. This Gabe Brown three-pointer trimmed Rutgers' halftime lead to just 2 points, but it was all washed away as they opened the second half with a 7-0 scoring run. The Scarlet Knights also shot an efficient 62% from the field and limited the Spartans to 0 fast break points. Speaking of Gabe Brown, he was really the only bright spot, as his 20 points led the team and hopefully marked the end of his shooting slump. But it comes at the price of an embarrassing loss to a team they haven't beaten on their home floor since 2018. This year's Michigan State team is learning that playing in the Big Ten is a different animal. It's the best conference in all of college basketball, and right now, it's catching up to them. They've gone away from what they do best in running the floor in the fast break, and they continue to do what hurts them the most in turning the ball over. This year's team doesn't have an Aaron Henry to get them a bucket when they're in a scoring drought, and their all-around team effort isn't being sustained for the entirety of games. The Spartans may be in line to make the tournament, but at the rate at which they're going, they're going to be crawling into the big dance. I could very well be overreacting, and Tom Izzo can rally the troops to a good showing against their next opponent, Wisconsin, a team they beat just 18 days ago. The key to this one is simple: replicate everything you did well the first time you played, which also happens to be everything the Spartans did poorly on Saturday. Score easy buckets in the paint and get to the free throw line. Do that and everyone will be involved in making an impact, which is when this squad is at its very best. MSU has a record of 15-2 this season when they have 3 or more players score 10 points or more. Maybe Michigan State should consider wearing the black uniforms in this one, as it's what they wore back on January 21st when they were in Madison, and actually they haven't lost a game wearing them all season, but it's just a thought. You can catch the Spartans and the Badgers tonight at 7 p.m. over on the Big Ten Network. That's going to be it for this edition of the Michigan State Update. Be sure to read more about Spartans basketball at woodwardsports.com. I'm Alex Mayer, signing off.
Hell of a job, Alex Mayer, our Michigan State insider.
That was A-OK. We've been begging him, when's the next update? When you going to do next update? And it was worth the wait, brother.
That is good.
He moved up to Tuesdays now. It's Tuesdays with Alex.
Tuesdays with Alex and his Michigan State update. Certainly
was good,
love
man.
that. All right, gang, let's get back into some Super Bowl talk now.
Got to do a Michigan update.
We got to get some Michigan basketball.
As good as that one was.
We'll talk about it in
Sam,
March.
you handle the
we'll
Michigan
see what
side.
happens. Yeah,
No,
Sam, you're all
our
over
women's basketball
Michigan.
team. They're doing better.
We mentioned so much about Joe Burrow, guys. I do want to say this about Joe Burrow. Spoke to the media, and so many people believe that the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow are just satisfied to be here. They are not. Here's what he had to say.
It's exciting for me and my family and everybody within the organization, but we're not going to sit back and revel in the opportunity that we have. We're going to try to go out and play a football game and win it. We can't sit back and be excited about where we are and what we did. We're living in the present, and we're going to have to go get it done.
Because, look, and Maz, you brought up the name in the last segment, Dan Marino. Yep. Everybody thought when Dan Marino made the Super Bowl in his second year that he was just going to get to go back every year. It was going to be the Dan Marino rotating Super Bowl. He was going to go every year, every other year. He never, ever got back.
Got close. Never
and had
got
an
close.
incredible career with the Miami Dolphins. But that's not enough so much to have talent. I mean, to make it to the Super Bowl, that's what Tom Brady did. So friggin' impressive, Braylon. I mean, to make it to the Super Bowl, you need lots of luck, too, in addition to being in a good organization.
One of the things I've talked about, and it's Joe Burrow, his process. Because, when you look at Joe Burrow, he's 2 years at Ohio State, he transfers, he's a year at LSU, then he's a second year at LSU, and then that second year, he gets to start for second time at LSU, goes on to have arguably the best season as a team and individually in college football history. Like, it's not even close. Like, the things that they were able to do, I mean, you just look at that team, insert player here that is balling, that is starting, but It's neither here nor there. I talked about the mental process that goes with coming out as a 5-star now, in terms of working out, preparing, going against other 5-star recruits in terms of what school you're going to go to, then going to said school, Ohio State. It doesn't work out for you. So now your mental has to correct itself, and it has to create a new journey, or it has to be able to go on this journey that's now not Ohio State. Now it's going down to LSU and figuring out, can Ed Ogeron help you and guide you and lead you to a national championship. Then they go and they play in the national championship, but to get there, they had to play in the playoffs. So not only do you have to win the SEC, you got to then win, which LSU is a part of, with Alabama and Georgia. Now you got to win the SEC. Now you have to get in the playoffs. Now you got to win the first round of the playoffs. Now you have to win the second round. Now you got to win the national championship. Joe Burrow's already done that. Joe Burrow has been treated in college like a professional in terms of leaving a team. Oh, it didn't work out here. Well, it didn't work out in Detroit for Matt Stafford. Now he's in L.A. Same similar situation happened at a much early rate for Joe Burrow. Now he's in LSU. Now he gets into the playoffs. Now he wins the Heisman. Now you know how much mental tenacity and fortitude goes with winning the Heisman? Not to mention a great team. Then you win the playoff. You blew them out. You said you would. You said you would blow them out, and you did. And then you come out in the national championship. You said you're going to blow out Clemson, and you blew them out. He's already been operating as if he was in the NFL for the past 4 years. And now you're just seeing it, like the calmness and the coolness. That's not on accident. He's been dealing like this for the last 4 or 5 years.
Joe Burrow has never lost a playoff game dating back to his days in college. However, one guy who has lost a Super Bowl is Sean McVay. Sean McVay does not want to lose another Super Bowl, and so many people believe that all the pressure is on it, and not believe it is. The pressure is on the Los Angeles Rams and Sean McVay to get this done. Here's what McVay had to say about losing that Super Bowl, that first Super Bowl they played in, and how he has learned from that.
Yeah, I think what you do to get over it is you look at yourself in the mirror, you take accountability, and then you keep it moving. I think as a competitor, you have to be able to handle those tough moments, and I'll never run away from the fact that I didn't do a good enough job for our team, within what I feel like, my role and responsibility is to these guys. I think you say, okay, if you had it differently, what are the things that you learn as far as the decision making, the adjustability, the ability to be totally in the moment during the game and be able to make those adjustments quicker than what we were able to do, and how you approach the 2 weeks of preparation. But whether it was a game like that or whether it was a game from a couple weeks ago, you're always trying to learn, you're always trying to evolve. And I think you want to be able to learn from previous experiences, but not allow it to inhibit your ability to be able to move forward. Where do you really have that security, that foundational confidence? Where does that lie? And I think it's in the preparation, the people that you're around, and your ability to be able to move forward from good and from the bad. And so, you get over it. I think it was a blessing to be in that game. Certainly, you don't forget about it. You wanted to be able to do better, but I don't think you press, when you do get another opportunity to be in this moment, in this stage again. I think you look at it as a blessing. You take some of those learning lessons, you apply them, and let's go cut it loose and play to the best of our ability, and I'll coach to the best of my ability with our coaches as well.
Sean McVay, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Cooper Kupp, just to name a few. Matt Stafford being number one. All these players are under tremendous, tremendous pressure. Von Miller is under tremendous pressure because guess who is a Super Bowl MVP already? Guess who's been playing some of his best ball? Guess who they went and got? Like you said, they went all in. You don't think he's under pressure? You don't think Aaron Donald's under pressure? He never got to Tom Brady the first time they played in the Super Bowl. He didn't get to Tom Brady. He didn't get a sack. He didn't do what everybody said and disrupt the game and the integrity of the game. Sean McVay, oh man, you're supposed to be a great offensive mind. Didn't look like it last time you played in the Super Bowl. So here you are with everything lined up for you. All this pressure, all these people that are under this tremendous amount of pressure. Now, pressure can bust pipes or it can make diamonds. I'm just pointing out all this pressure that they're on. Meanwhile, nobody on the other side, as you like to say, Maz, your favorite term, the Cincinnati Bengals are playing with house money. They ain't supposed to be here. They ain't supposed to be here for another 5 years, 4 years, 3 years. But they're here. They're relaxed. They're chill. They got Joey Cool. And oh, by the way, Jamar Chase is going to outplay Cooper Kupp on Sunday. It just is what it is. And guess who's going to be on him?
Zoma's going to play too.
I'm trying to tell you. That's the difference. You have all this pressure.
you.
Not yet, but I'm getting there. You have all this pressure, man. Meanwhile, on the other side, you got guys that are just happy. Not happy to be here because that's not how they're acting. But they're like, you know what? They still counting us out. Let's keep it Let's keep it low to the ground. Let's go out there late. The reason why they went out there late, they still worked out in Cincinnati. They kept it low. They didn't want all the distractions. Cincinnati is like, listen, when is the Super Bowl? It's on the 12th?
I think the 14th.
13th. The 13th. On the 14th, we can do whatever the hell you want to do. You want to go out the country. You want to be bad. You want to do whatever you want to do.
It's Valentine's Day.
On whatever you want to do. You can do it on that day moving forward until we start OTAs. For these moments, for this precious week leading up, it's not about LA. It's not about doing things with sponsors. It's not about going to this party. It's not about going to that. We are coming to say who they.
Hey, listen, that first Super Bowl, Sean McVay was in awe of Bill Belichick. He lost that game before they even played it. Do you remember how he was fawning all over Bill Belichick? Yeah. I mean, I remember.
And still could have won.
They still could have won.
Yeah.
Jared Goff didn't have a great game, but they had a couple of passes they dropped. It was one of the worst Super Bowls I've ever seen.
Brandon
by the
Cooks
way.
got knocked out.
Yep.
Like every Super Bowl
They're
he's in,
home,
he gets
man.
knocked out.
They are home.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have to change locker rooms because officially
they're the away
team. I wonder if the Bengals actually kick them out of their home.
Maybe they do.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
But I'll tell you, man, Sean McVay, this time, I think he'll be fine. He already had his bad moment against Bill Belichick.
I agree with you, and I think he's going to be a lot better, my bad, Ryan. I think he's going to be really good. I just think they're facing arguably the worst opponent that they could be facing for him. Because if they were facing Mahomes will have something on the line. Andy Reid, if you're facing the Titans, Vrabel's first time, and Derrick Henry, is he really healthy? And, how good is that defensive line? Insert team at Josh Allen, is this his time? Everybody had a story. The Bengals are the one team they're playing with that they're like, can we get any emotion? We don't know what to expect.
There's a quarterback that may be on the market, and I'm curious to see whether you think
is it Brady?
He's a former number 1 overall pick. There's a former number 1 overall pick, and I'm curious to see if you think the Lions should lob a call to the Arizona Cardinals for Kyler Murray, Ermanni and Edwards.
What happened?
Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line, that's that petty 2022.
Event 10 years in the making. Sunday, February 13th, Woodward Sports, Gypsy Vodka, and Syntron present the Stafford Bowl.
Hurry up!
Live broadcast at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Hey, keep stacking these drives now. Keep stacking these drives. Gotta have good ones every time we touch the ball.
Come out with all of your friends for our pregame and stay for the watch party.
Big drive right here, all right? We got to keep pouring it on. Good fundamentals. Let's punch another one in. All right, big drive. Let's go.
The entire Woodward staff will be at the Brass Rail as Matthew Stafford and the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come experience the Stafford Bowl on massive big screens, drinks, pizza, and DJs. One day, the Lions will make it there. Until then, we have Matthew Stafford and the Stafford Bowl.
Let's go! That's unbelievable! That's unbelievable, and you know it. You know it is, though.
See you Sunday at the Brass Rail with Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. I'm telling you, it's nothing like working out, doing your own thing, being relaxed, chill. Oh, by the way, look at this studio.
Oh, chill.
Everything has come together
Planet
right now.
Fitness.
We got the Planet Fitness studio. We got the board working right now. Look at that, man. You got the nice Planet Fitness read with the graphic right there.
Yeah, I signed my girls up on Sunday.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Abby and Maddie.
$0 down, right?
They're Planet Fitness girls
$10
now.
a month.
I see you, Maz. Membership just $10 a month. As Maz said, no money down. Join today in club or online at www.planetfitness.com. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness by you because there are over 2,000 locations worldwide, baby. Worldwide, they are always there. That is Planet Fitness. Right now, $0 down or $10 a month. Planet Fitness is your workout destination.
Yes, it is. It is your workout destination. Is Arizona the ultimate destination for Kyler Murray? So this is an interesting one, and I'm not really sure where to go with it other than to just say that Kyler Murray is upset. he has scrubbed all Arizona Cardinals mentions from his social media pages. He has unfollowed the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what happened or when or why, but it looks like he is very upset, Braylon.
I think Cliff Kingsbury might have slept with his girlfriend or something.
So that is very possible, because from what I heard, they go after the same women. So the thing about this situation, you want to start off with this one, Mass. You want to say, hey, a lot of times people change. They go through these phases. Alex, you would know. They go through these phases where you scrub your Instagram clean, you start over with new pictures. People go from this, you have new pictures. So you want to take the time to say maybe it's a level of that. Now that we throw that BS out of here,
that's bull,
and we get serious, something's got to give, man. This reminds me of a situation last year. The Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Simmons has a terrible playoffs. Doc Rivers come out and said something about him publicly. They don't really defend him, talking about I keep wanting to say San Fran, but the 76ers franchise, they don't defend him. And then it starts this war all off season that still hasn't been settled. Seems very similar. You look at Kyler Murray, didn't have the best game, wasn't put in the best situations by Cliff Kingsbury.
Braylon, not only that, he looked totally lost during that game.
He did. Like, nothing was there, whether it was blocking, whether it was he himself, whether it was guys getting open, whether it was the running game, whether it was Cliff Kingsbury being able to call the right plays. Because remember, they've talked about Cliff Kingsbury in the big moment. That's been a thing that's come up now for the last 3 years. Keep in mind, he's the same guy that had Mahomes and only won 13 games.
Yep.
Well, Mahomes
Texas
3 years.
Tech.
Texas Tech. So the interesting thing, as I look at it, because I don't have enough to really make a formula, smart, intellectual decision, what I can tell you about this is this. Kyler Murray is a guy that's always been mature. Whether you saw him when he transferred from Texas A&M, he goes to Oklahoma, all his press conferences were spot on. He was on the money. He didn't let anything faze him. He wins the Heisman Trophy. He's a guy that's always been stand-up, always been mature. He goes #1 overall. Nothing has seemed to faze him, rather him, bother him. He doesn't seem like a guy. For him to do a move like this, that's telling me something was said. Somebody said something, or from a conversation with, I don't know if it was a GM, if it was somebody in the front office, if it was a head man. There was a conversation, and from that conversation, I'm thinking he thought he might be up for a trade somewhere, and they may not be exactly happy with him. Because you don't do something like that.
Maz, what do you think about this? Because this, to me, man, if you got a quarterback that is like, I mean, I can't imagine Arizona want to move him, though. I mean, he's Arizona's best shot. I mean, they were the #1 seed up until what, week 15, week 16 this year?
The Lions
in the
knocked them
NFC.
off.
You're right.
They were 10-2 to start the month of December.
Yeah.
They were 10-2.
Something happened, and as a football guy that watches football a lot, they just were not the same team anymore. When they came into Detroit, that was not the Arizona Cardinals that I was watching.
I don't know what the hell that was.
Something happened to Kyler Murray, and maybe, just maybe, he ain't the guy, man. Now you know football.
Yeah.
This is a guy you loved. You loved Kyler Murray. You're in his corner the whole time.
Yeah.
They went back to back with quarterbacks, drafted Josh Rosen, #1, getting rid of him, and then drafted Kyler Murray, #1. But it ain't. I don't think he's going to play anymore for them. I really don't.
Just watching Kyler Murray last year, he got hurt the season before that. He was injured. Still made the Pro Bowl. You see, last season, he pretty much made the Pro Bowl in those first 12 games, because those last 5, nothing to write home about. But there's just been negligence at the end of the season 2 years in a row. And I wonder if you get to a situation where Kyler doesn't like Cliff Kingsbury doesn't like Kyler, or there's a bumping of the heads. Because when teams are bad, or when teams have a meltdown of some sort, we get to point out who we think is to blame. We get to say, well, Kyler Murray didn't look good towards the end of the year. Or, hey, Cliff Kingsbury has a history. He has a track record of falling apart towards the end. I think you push that out there long enough, they'll start to fight amongst themselves.
So I'll ask you the question. You say he's not going to be the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals anymore. If you're the Detroit Lions, do you lob a call? Do you say, what do you need? What do you want?
You have to do your due diligence.
Is Kyler Murray the quarterback that you think can take you to the next level?
I will only say yes because I love our offensive line. And we were without one of our major pieces, and talking about Ragnow at center. You're talking about how good that offensive line was without Ragnow. Now you put him in center this upcoming season, not to mention with the running game that we have. You have Swift back there. Is it Reynolds? Is it Williams? Doesn't matter for the most part. That's tough. Because now you got a guy in Kyler Murray that he moves to pass. He doesn't move to run. He's very accurate on the run. He's very accurate when he does RPOs. That could be something special.
Jared Goff in the number 2 overall for Kyler Murray. I mean, I'm just throwing out without even I'm just randomly thinking.
Wow.
I'm so
wow. I think I would.
Is that enough for the Cardinals to do it? Would they need another number 1?
The way they look right now and the way things are looking right now, that might be their best bet. Because then they can get their quarterback if they want to get somebody else. They get Kenny Pickett or someone, Malik Willis.
Or they can go in the same conference. There is a man looking for a team in that same exact conference. Jimmy G.
Jimmy G is another guy.
Jimmy G.
Or
something's rotten in Denmark. That's all I know.
Perhaps Tom Brady at some point. He had some interesting things to say about retirement and possibly coming back to the NFL. I want to ask you guys this because I don't know if I believe that he was really ready to retire, which means I do think we have not seen the last of Tom Brady yet. Ermanni and Edwards, stay right there. Ermanni and Edwards.
What's that word? The bottom line. I can't wait to say what I got to say.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Chili Peppers Tanning. It's where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless, sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. And don't forget to pick up that Australian Gold, Designer Skin, California Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions.
Can I go there?
Yes, you can.
I ain't know if black people tan now. It's okay for me to tan?
Certainly can. Absolutely.
Golden bronze, I'm coming.
ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations and more coming. Big D Energy going to be live from Berkeley's grand opening on Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 on Woodward Avenue between 11 and 12 Mile Road. ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
D-Mac needs a tan.
I need one too.
We all do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is getting at that time in winter where I start to get a little lighter. I won't mind going there and get some of that exuberance back into the skin.
No doubt. No doubt. Guys, I want to ask you about Tom Brady. He retired from the NFL with an Instagram post earlier in the week, actually last week. He had his podcast last night, though, and had something different to say. He was asked about coming back, and he said, "You never say never. I don't know how I'll feel 6 months from now. It may change. It most likely won't." Here's the deal. I don't believe Tom Brady was ready to retire. I think Tom Brady was forced to make a decision for other people's reasons, for other people's benefits, for teammates of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to decide whether or not they're going to come back and re-sign with the team. Look, so many people took less money to play with Tom Brady and come back and try to run it back. So can those players now go out and get paid, or would they want to come back? Tom Brady was not ready to commit to another season. If you gave Tom Brady 2 or 3 months to figure that out, maybe he would have a different answer. And I think at some point during the season, I think he will come back. He loves football. And the decision was based on the calendar, not based on how he felt. That's how I feel about it.
You just love Tom, and you don't ever want Tom to retire, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I do. I think
all I know is Tom Brady in the NFL, so I get it. My first year, he was already in the NFL. My first year in college, I get it, and I understand that, and I appreciate that. I disagree, and this is what I disagree. I think this is the conversation that was had. It was had between two people. It was one. There was a Thomas Brady, involved in the conversation. And then there was a Giselle Brady involved in the conversation. And Giselle, after they won last season, when they won and he had the boat and all the fun and the festivities and throwing the Lombardi off the trophy, after that next day or 2 or 3 when he recovered let's say that, it's a serious conversation with Giselle, serious conversation with Tom. Tom said, look, Giselle, give me 1 more year. If I can get these guys to come back, take less money, if I can get everybody to come back, if everybody can buy into what I'm going to sell Bruce Arians and what I'm going to sell to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a franchise, as an organization, if I can get everybody to buy in for 1 more, baby, I promise you, it's going to be the ride off into the sunset. It's going to be the last hurrah. It'll be the last one because we'll get everybody back. You saw how good this team was. If I can get everybody to come back and buy in, we win 1 more. I'm riding off into the sunset. I'm gonna do the man in the arena. It's gonna be the documentary to set up to let you know I'm telling the truth. I'm gonna lie and say 45 when I know it's 44. I'm gonna do all these things for you. Just give me 1 more. And Giselle said, you know what, baby, you got it. You got it. You came down here. You're one. You won with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got you a chip. You stuck it to him up there in Foxborough, baby. 1 more, and that's it. That's why that Joker looks so sad when he had to retire, because he should have been in the Super Bowl if everybody plays out. The injuries don't happen, but that's life. That's football. That is what it is. That Joker knew this was the last hurrah the whole time. That's why he looked the way he did, which was sad all season. Not sad, but you get it. It's coming to an end. He knew it was going to happen. Now, was the end that he wanted? Was not at all. But he knew he was going to retire because Giselle wasn't going for that. And I know y'all say, well, a wife and all that, you can kiss my ass. I'm telling you, like, Giselle, she can pull a ring. 22 years and 7 Super Bowls, Giselle can pull some ring.
I get it. But everything that you're saying leads me further to believe that I don't think he's done. Because if he's done for any other reason than his own personal desire to be done with the NFL, I think that is a very dangerous place to be, because there's all those what ifs. If you analogy here. How many people know an addict out there? How many people know an addict?
Everyone does.
Everybody knows
Everyone
an addict.
does.
If that addict quits whatever they're doing for any other reason based on their they want to quit, then they always go back.
Yeah.
They always go back. You can quit for your mom, your spouse, your wife, your husband. You can quit doing anything you want for a period of time, right, but you always go back to whatever it is you're doing because you just are not done yet. I don't necessarily believe that Tom Brady is done playing football yet, and it's because he's quitting for Giselle, or he's quitting because the Tampa Bay...
Stop using the word quitting.
Retire.
Thank you. He's not a quitter.
Fine, he's not retiring. He's retiring from the NFL because of all these other things other than the fact that I think he still wants to play.
If you can't retire for your family after 40 years in the NFL and 7 rings, who the hell can you retire for?
But Bray, look what happened in that last game. He brought them back. I know the Rams were giving it to him.
So then what happens? Then what happens?
There was more, man.
No, I get it. So then what happens next year? Because obviously he's not going back to Tampa.
San Francisco.
So
now
we said the Niners.
Okay. So now he goes to the 49ers. Now he's got to try to recreate what he did down there. By the way, he played with 4 Pro Bowl wide receivers and 2 Pro Bowl tight ends.
He's got Debo.
1 player. Congratulations. And George Kittle. You got 2 players.
That's great.
That's 2 players. Like
they have a great offensive line. They have a great coach.
They're not even the number 1 team in their division.
They will be.
I'm
telling you, to finish with your childhood love.
I understand that, and I'm telling you guys like this from the other side, from being a player.
You were a player?
In more ways than one. I'm not a player. I just crush it live.
That's right.
You were the 49ers, too. You were a 49er.
Oh, my God. Don't remind me. I know how much we want this storybook deal. We want there to be more because there is more left in him. Sometimes, man, we just got to realize that they're gone. Sometimes we got to understand our heroes are gone, man. Listen, man, I love Brady. I played against him. I had to hate him when I played for the Jets. Secretly still loved him. It is what it is. I'm a Michigan guy. What can I say? Like, he's the man. Like, even in the last game, like, I was just waiting for that Brady miracle. Like, even in the Philadelphia game, when Brandon Graham knocks the ball out of his hand, I was mad at Brandon Graham. He's a Michigan man. You're always waiting for the miracle with Tom. You're waiting, and this is the next miracle you're waiting for. You're waiting for him to go to San Fran. You're waiting for this to happen, and you're waiting for it to line up perfectly, because it will line up pretty good. It'd be another good story. Here he is. He's right back in it, and he's back in the Super Bowl. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what? It's over.
Yeah, look, you could be right. I don't particularly care if he plays or not. I just, when you say stuff like this, it just leads me to believe that you're leaving the door open. And anytime you leave the door open to an addict, and I'll call him an addict because he is addicted to playing football.
Championships.
He's addicted to championships. He's addicted to playing football. Yeah. And anytime you leave that window open, that door cracked a little bit, which he is convincing himself, we'll see, you never say never. I just think sometimes you walk through that door again. And I could be totally wrong. I just based on those words, I just think he's not
going to stay in shape.
But he's going to do that anyway. That's the TB12 method.
That's right.
The TB12 method. But you yourself have said this. Tom Brady always says the right things, the right time. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to do that.
Very calculated.
And part of this calculation is this comment. He's seen, because he's been 22 years, so he's seen a lot of great ones retire, a lot of great ones come and go. He saw Brett Favre. I'm retired. No, I'm not. I'm retired. No, I'm not. He saw Peyton Manning have to figure that situation out. That was the neck injury, and then come back and try to figure out, was he going to go out. He saw Drew Brees recently, just as soon as last year. So I think for him, he realized that the best way to leave it is, you know what? You never know in 6 months. I think that's a brilliant way to leave it, because it gets you and I talking about, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Meanwhile, he never said he was done, but at the same point, he said he was done already. So it's the perfect way to walk out the door and leave it for life.
I'll wait for him to sign his retirement papers.
You don't sign retirement papers.
Some do.
Well,
how about that last contract with New England that they said he was going to sign?
Oh, for the one day just to.
Oh, I want to see that. When I see that, then I'll give up.
You know what's
you
funny?
You may not ever see that.
Like, another thing that's interesting about this whole Brady, is he retired, is he not retired kind of thing, too, is, look, he just made this decision last week. Yeah. Not 4 months ago, where he's starting to get the jitters again, where training camp's about to start. I don't know.
Or if Braylon says it right, then he's made it last year.
Right.
And he played this year knowing that it was going to end.
Very well could. I am totally willing to say that maybe there's a 2% chance that I'm right.
Yeah.
I just think that, you know, anytime you do something for somebody else and not yourself, because not like Brady was 10th in the league in throwing this year.
He was
or 10th or 20th in the
MVP.
league. He was number one. He might win the MVP on Saturday.
He should.
He probably will win the MVP. So I don't know.
And here's another.
Just saying, there's a chance.
Here's another thing that we don't talk about. We keep saying it was because of his wife and because of his kids. What if that was a decision because of him, though? What if he wanted to be home with his kids? What if he doesn't want to miss any more events, any more school things, or blah, 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 or whatever the hell kids are doing at their kids' age? Like, what if it was for him? He's like, you know what? Like, damn, like, I have missed a lot. Like, damn, I wish, I can be there. You know what? What if it was for him, but we're trying to make that decision was about Giselle and his son and his daughter, his two sons and his daughter? Like, what if it was really about him?
Remember how he was closing out that Tampa Bay Rams game?
Yeah.
I just didn't see the smile on his face at the end of that game. Like,
that's true.
You could see it as the game was going.
He was done.
He didn't get, you know how he gets on his team. He starts screaming. You didn't see that in that fourth quarter. He just went out there and, okay, the Rams are going to keep giving it to us. We're going to keep scoring a touchdown.
Right.
If Stafford don't hit Cup on that long one, they go to overtime and Brady beats him.
And even when you pointed this out to me, even when Brady tied the game up, he still looked like whatever.
He looked like a loss. He didn't look like himself.
Yeah.
So interesting to talk about. Interesting to talk about. That's another high-profile quarterback. Where's he going to be? Aaron Rodgers. I mean, lots of quarterback talk today. Dan Orlovsky thinks he knows where Aaron Rodgers belongs next year. We'll get that to you next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line. Now, where's anybody?
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt cracked full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers.
Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 p.m. Join Woodward Sports and Big D Energy for the grand opening of the Berkeley Chili Peppers Tanning on Woodward between 11 and 12 Mile. Come hang and join the Pepper Club. Best deals on unlimited tanning.
Just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against issues around mental health as well as substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. Soon coming to Woodward Sports, which I will be a part of. I'm very proud to be a part of this, the Sports Marketing Agency podcast. This is the F Word, which is a series on fentanyl. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. Go to thesportsma.com. That means you, Tom Brady. If you're struggling with addiction and you want to come back to win another Super Bowl, go to thesportsma.com and we can get you going and make sure you stay out of the NFL. Sportsmarketingagency.com.
As I sit here today, I don't think Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay. Actually, I'd be shocked if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay. And I think the Green Bay Packers need to look at themselves like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did 2 years ago and go all in and make their run for the Super Bowl like the Los Angeles Rams did this past offseason. You know, Brian Gutekunst, you've done a good job of planning for the future and you've committed to build your franchise for the future. It's time, man. Like, it's time to go forward. It's time to see Aaron Rodgers come back and let's sacrifice a little bit of the future for right now. Take some of your picks of the future and go get some other pieces. I think Aaron realizes how good of a football team they are. I think Aaron realizes how good of a scheme fit that he has within Matt LaFleur's system and that Kyle Shanahan system. And I just think Aaron understands and believes the best path or the most likely path for a Super Bowl is to stay right where he is in the NFC North, continue to win that division, and stay the heck away from the AFC.
Look, that is obviously what we all believe, right? I mean, anybody that wants a shot at the Super Bowl, you're
NFC
coming
North.
to the NFC, right?
NFC North to be exact.
NFC North to be exact, right. I mean, look, I made the statement yesterday. I think if Aaron Rodgers leaves, that division is so poor, I think the Lions could ultimately be the division winners next year if Rodgers leaves. But will he leave?
Over the Vikings?
Dude, Kirk Cousins sucks.
Look how close the Vikings were this year.
Kirk Cousins sucks.
Look how close they were.
Kirk Cousins, one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. I mean, I'm so done with Kirk Cousins.
Games.
Oh,
they
God.
They could have won 12
Kirk
games.
Cousins.
To Ryan's credit, Kirk Cousins doesn't have. Hey, but to Ryan's credit, and I actually have lobbied for Kirk Cousins all season, by the way. But
he's got O'Connell quote.
He doesn't have any big wins, so I can understand why he would say
Kirk Cousins no better than Jared Goff.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
I disagree with that.
Well, he's not. You're both wrong. All four of his years are wrong.
He's got Kevin O'Connell coaching him now.
Right. Exactly. So either way, I don't know, but the Davante Adams thing to me is interesting because you're already $50 million over the cap or whatever they were. They already went all in last year. I don't understand how Aaron Rodgers can come back to Green Bay this year and you pay Davante Adams unless you franchise Davante Adams, totally screwing Davante Adams, by the way, in getting a long-term deal and securing generations of his family.
Yeah,
if I'm Davante Adams, the whole thing's a no-go. I love you, Aaron, but you've gotten your money. Now it's time for me to go get mine.
What he said. That's exactly what I was going to say. I said for Davante Adams, the only thing that he can do is leave now. Leave now, get out the way now, because what do you do with Aaron Rodgers for another year? They franchise you, he comes in for another year, and then we're right back at this situation, this juncture next year. What's Aaron going to do? What are you going to do? Are they going to franchise again? Are they going to pay you? If you're Davante Adams, you're arguably the best receiver in the NFL, definitely the best receiver in the red zone. You got to leave now. You got to strike while the iron's super hot and you're healthy. You go to Derek Carr. You guys are friends. You guys are best friends. You guys, Vegas, they have a new coach out there, so this could be a good place for you to go. They have a new system. You can get the ball right away. Hunter Renfro's the guy that he's going to be the number 2 to you. You got a great tight end out there in Waller. It's a good situation. You got to get out now. Don't play. And I know you love Aaron, and I know you appreciate number 12, and those your guy. You got to get out and take care of yourself. You've done what you're supposed to do at every step of the way. Now it's time for you, like you said.
But he's under contract.
Well, this is when you come and say, you pull Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be here.
That's exactly right. It's now time to get that long-term deal. Because the NFL, if this was baseball, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
But this is the NFL where they'll cut you for nothing. I mean, they'll get rid of you for nothing.
Yeah, but not Adams.
Why not? What if Adams gets hurt? God forbid.
It happened. It happened. You ready for this? Javon Walker.
Right.
Javon Walker and Brett Favre. Javon Walker was supposed to come in and get paid that year with Green Bay Packers.
Sure did.
Brett Favre came out to the media like a POS that he is and was like, well, I don't understand why guys would hold the team hostage and, it's about the team and you're worrying about your money. It just shows you what type of guy he is. Made Javon Walker feel bad. He came back, no contract. He tears his ACL first game. Guess where it was at? Oh, by the way, it was at Ford Field. So you've seen the proof is in the pudding, man.
This is not the NBA. This is not Major League Baseball. This is the NFL where one bad step on one of these carpets and you're done and they'll cut you for nothing. And then you're left searching, what am I going to do? In the NFL, whether you're under contract or not, if you have the ability to get paid, if you have the ability to set up your family for generations of time, you don't owe me nothing. You don't owe that organization nothing. You don't owe that quarterback nothing. You owe yourself and your family. Davante Adams needs to go get paid this offseason.
There you go. There's another Rocky quote for you. Nobody owe nothing.
That's right.
He said nobody's owed nothing.
That's
so
right.
Where do you guys think Rodgers will go then?
Denver.
You really believe that?
They got the money.
To hell if he keeps it up.
They got the money and they got I think you could probably sign Davante Adams there too. You got Judy.
He don't want to play for Denver. If he's going to play anywhere,
he
Davante
likes smoking
Adams.
all that weed out there they do in Denver.
Well, he's got the Raiders. His best friend's the quarterback, and his best friend's the quarterback with the Raiders.
Offensive coordinator is the head coach.
No,
now
Davante Adams.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, Davante Adams. I thought you were talking about Aaron
No, I'm
Rodgers.
talking about Davante Adams.
I think the Raiders are the slam dunk.
Then the Raiders or the Chargers.
Or the Chargers, yeah.
Those are the two teams.
That's it. And you go get yourself paid. You go live in one of them nice communities out in Las Vegas or Los Angeles, and you set up generations of your family. And by the way, in doing so, get the hell out of the NFC North, please.
That's what it really comes down to. The only thing about the Chargers situation, though, is because they got two first-rounders, essentially, not first-rounders, two Pro Bowlers essentially a wide receiver. They have Mike Williams, who's a Pro Bowler this year, and you have Keenan Allen, who was a sub, who almost was a reserve this year, but he missed, I think, 4 games due to injury. That's a tough situation unless they do that as part of a deal where you trade, Mike Williams out here, you trade Keenan Allen to Green Bay and then take Davante Adams. I think that Broncos deal could be I think the Broncos deal or the Raiders deal would be the best deal for Davante Adams. I think with the Broncos deal, you still get Aaron Rodgers. If that's a possibility, you get Aaron Rodgers and yourself. You get out there, you have another 4 years with A-Rod or another 3 years with him, and as they get somebody else, or the Raiders situation like we talked about it. But he's got to get out of there.
The AFC West is without a doubt the best division in football.
Yeah.
And it's going to be for the next 5 years.
Because of the quarterbacks.
Yes.
Right? I mean, and I wouldn't want any part of that, but if you're Denver, you've got money, you've got a pretty decent team you can build. You have built. Now you're just missing a quarterback. If Denver had a quarterback, they'd be competing for something.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they competed this year.
And like Dan Orlovsky says, man, look, nobody backed the Packers like I did this year. I thought they were going to win it all and win it easy. They ran into the 49ers, who were the worst matchup for them. If they played anybody else, I think they're in the Super Bowl this week, and we're talking about them and not the Rams. That's just the way I think about it. I don't know what the hell happened to the Packers that night against them, but Aaron Rodgers was vacant. Their whole coaching staff was vacant in that game.
But again,
I'm scratching my head.
Part of the luck it takes to get to a Super Bowl, right? Too.
I just don't understand it.
We talk about that luck. I mean, Matthew Stafford and the Rams got a little bit of luck by having to avoid not going to Green Bay.
They sure did.
You also talk about paying attention to numbers. You talked about white jerseys and black jerseys. I know sometimes ratios and numbers and stats, they don't matter, or you don't think they do. They can't beat the 49ers for whatever that reason is. Green Bay cannot beat the 49ers, whether it's Jim Harbaugh head coach, whether it's Kyle Shanahan head coach, whether it's Colin Kaepernick, whether it's
a block for Aaron Rodgers, man.
Aaron Rodgers 0-6.
0-5 in the
Hey,
playoffs.
what did he say? What did he say the night he got drafted? Was the last guy in the green room?
Oh, yeah.
They asked him that question.
The 49ers are going to pay.
He said, what do you have to say about the 49ers? Well, they're going to be sorry they didn't draft me.
They're
Guess
the
why?
one team
Never
that
beat
isn't.
them.
Yep.
Never beat them.
My goodness. Well, good discussion, fellas. Time of the day, we like to play Maz's Videos of the Day. We'll do it next.
How'd that go yesterday without me?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
just checking.
He's lying. It didn't go good. We missed you.
We missed you, Maz. We missed you, buddy.
You can't just read my headlines. You got to feel my headlines.
I felt it.
Okay.
I felt it.
What'd you feel?
You.
Yeah, this is Ermanni and Edwards, Wolverine Sports Network, Bottom Line. Matt's Videos of the Day coming up next. Matt.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Centron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at LCA. If you're wondering why we're laughing, just a little bit at behind-the-scenes laugh in the Planet Fitness studio. Centron World is an aspirational lifestyle and beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy drinks, premium bottled water, and also revitalizer shots. Check this out. You talking about aspiration. You talk about enhancing your brand, enhancing your day-to-day. I wake up in the morning, boom, hit myself a revitalizer shot. Feels amazing, feels good. Usually go with the 2 American green. Sometimes you go with the pineapple and ginger. But then also, before I get to this show, a couple bottles of that Centron water. Feels smooth. It goes down nice. I know you say all water tastes the same. When that, damn it, that's a lie, because it doesn't. And then right before I get on air, as you see the can is empty, I pop on with a little bit of the Centron energy drink, man. It makes me feel good. And it gets me going so that I can talk to you guys and be with the big guys in the studio. Centron is what you need to do. Drink it, live it with Centron. It will enhance your life.
All right.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. That's right. Precision haircuts, the King's treatment. You'll get that all right here at Lady Jane's. All you got to do, walk in that door, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee!
Shout out to Fish.
That's right. Fish. Shout out to Fish. Absolutely. Lady Jane's, several locations throughout Metro Detroit, several more around the country. Look for Lady Jane's nearest you. Lady Jane's open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome. We get it at the same time. Wicked.
It's the time of the day we like to play
Maz's Videos of the Day. Maz.
My man, Chris Berman. Nobody loves Chris Berman like I do. Love Boomer. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hey, did you guys know Chris Berman's whoop? Guess who he named the whoop after?
Is it Barry Sanders, man?
It is.
Goldberg.
Check it out. Whoop.
P. Goldberg.
Whoop came from Barry Sanders.
Ooh, okay.
So that it came as a whoa. There's no other way to describe.
I love this guy.
Barry's. I think his ankles were bionic.
Yeah.
Tommy and I both think this because
I've had some fun with
there's
Chris
no
Berman
way
at ESPN,
you could swivel
events.
as a human being like
He gets
this.
at speed.
And so that was the whoop. That was more Barry's moves that come from Barry Sanders.
Uh-huh.
He's the impetus for that. And now it's anybody that kind of does that. Yes. Now it because the sound, I get stopped all the time, like 15, 20 years. Whoop, like say it. Whoop, I go nuts. But it's so now I've moved it to the squeal pig. But it was started with Barry Sanders, and of course a Lamar Jackson type of player you would do it with. But that's where it came from, out of respect for Barry.
So what is the
Boy,
look
I
at
miss
Boomer,
him.
man.
I miss him so much.
I know. He was on SportsCenter last weekend.
Yeah. So
I miss him.
good. What's great about that is I I wouldn't know how to feel like if I had a noise that was synonymous with me that everyone wanted me to make every time they come up to me. Like when I see people in the community, they want to talk about Michigan State game. I'll conversate for hours talking about it. But to just do this every time I see someone, do the noise.
Hey man, I got ESPN. Man. I got ESPN Plus strictly so I can watch Chris Berman's primetime. That's why I got it.
Started doing it with Booger this year, right?
Yep, he does it with Booger. I love Tommy Jackson. Love Tommy Jackson.
Oh, man.
But I like Boog. Boog is good, man.
Boog is really good. I just got the guy him out of that floating thing on Monday Night Football. That was terrible.
He got screwed on that deal because he's such a good analyst and he knows what he's doing.
He's damn good.
Hey, moving on. Let's go to – this is a girl that you did.
I can't wait. Come on, man.
I'm going to let you set this one up.
Caitlin
Iowa
Clark
against Michigan the other day. Women's basketball.
So first of all, if you're not paying attention to Caitlin Clark, you'll find out right now. She dropped 46 on Michigan in a loss. Michigan number 4 right now in the country, playing amazing. Talking about the women, definitely not talking about the men. But what Caitlin Clark is not just a female's perspective on what she's doing.
Watch her pulling up here.
Caitlin Clark
from the logo.
Caitlin Clark, as you're watching, if you're watching, Caitlin Clark would just pull up from just inside the half like Steph and Dame. In the month of December, she's the first D1 woman or man in the last 25 years to score 300 points in 1 month, 75 assists in 1 month, and 75 rebounds in 1 month. And by the way, she had 3 back-to-back-to-back 30-point triple-doubles. And by the way, the game before they played Michigan, when she had 46, she had 40.
I don't even think Steph Curry does
that. She is going off right now.
Caitlin Clark of Iowa.
Whoa.
She is amazing to watch. I've been waiting to talk about her. I wrote this back in, Harbaugh.
Go back to your notes.
Brian Flores fired. I wrote this after Brian Flores got fired.
A week ago.
I was waiting. No, this is when he got fired.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Because I wrote I was waiting to talk about it because she is murdering on a different level. I think Paige Beckers, the 2 guard from UConn, the tore ACL, she kind of started it last year with how she plays, and now watching those women basketball games, they're more entertaining than the men.
Damn.
Very
Hey, Maz, before you continue, I need 6 more likes for 150. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube, please. It helps us out. It helps the network out as YouTube promotes some of the videos and all that stuff. A lot of that content is dependent upon the number of likes, so we certainly appreciate if you can hit that like button on the YouTube.
The more content we can give
That's
us.
right.
Did you like
and
us yet?
subscribe.
You did? How about you, Alex?
Very
did you
good.
like us?
Very good.
All right, Alex is still waiting. Okay.
19,600 plus subscribers, too, as we try to get to 20,000 subscribers
that would be
on
nice.
YouTube.
By Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
That would be really nice.
Very good.
Here's a good old, I just found this on This Day in Sports, a good old-fashioned NHL fight. Tiger Williams used to be the man, but look at these old uniforms, and look at this fight, folks.
Here, I'll do a job on
Oh, man.
Check this out. This is Hagler Hearns on ice. Look.
Oh, man.
Every punch.
Get some.
Get some.
Oh, my
Get some.
God. Get some. Get that helmet off. Get the helmet off.
Are you kidding me?
Get some.
Every punch.
Get some.
Take charge.
Get some.
Who's going down?
Tiger knocks him out there. See him?
Oh, my gosh.
And he held him up.
my gosh.
He might be asleep.
Oh,
he
my
did. Tiger Williams put him to sleep.
It's over.
He's asleep, folks.
Oh, it's over.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Did you see him? He looked like somebody came to play.
Steven Jackson slugging people.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
That was sheesh.
And I leave Tiger fans with this little ditty.
Oh,
Do you realize
come and get some
that players are still wearing number 1 on the Tigers? Lou Whitaker's number 1.
Jose Iglesias wore.
I know. Horrible.
Terrible.
But guess what? The Tigers finally are going to step up and retire good old number 1. Check them out.
God.
Detroit Tigers.
We'll talk about
Lou
that tomorrow.
Whitaker.
Sweet Lou.
We're getting set to retire your jersey. I mean, can you even put into words what that means to you?
I certainly couldn't.
To have that bestowed upon you, that your number is up there, it's got to be the thrill of a lifetime. And I know for me that when I look up there and I see that number 1, I can sit there and say, I played with that guy. I played with
pretty cool
greatness like that.
It brings a smile to
when
my
did this
face.
video get produced?
Today?
Be able to
That's what I'm talking about, man. Way to come back with fire, man.
Get some of the recognition that he deserves. One of the great things about Lou is seeing Lou's face light up with a big
because,
smile.
Baseball
and I'm
is in
looking
a
forward to
lockout.
seeing that
They haven't
happen
really
on the
put
day
too
they
much
retire his
content
shoes.
out there.
Congratulations,
we gotta
Lou.
do something. Keep
well
people coming.
deserved. Number 1 with number 3 on the wall at Comerica Park, as it should be.
That was clean.
How about that?
I got a lot to say.
Saturday, August 6th, the Tampa Bay Rays.
I got a lot to say about this tomorrow.
I will be there. You're damn right.
I got a lot to say about that tomorrow.
I bet you do.
Yep.
How much did you love that Tiger team?
Please. Got goosebumps.
How do you not?
Seriously. Hair on the back of my neck standing up.
By the way, he should be in the Hall of Fame, too.
If Lou Whitaker wore pinstripes for the Yankees, he'd
Not
have
a
been in
question.
20 years
Or
ago.
Red Sox.
Not a question.
Yeah, it's good to see these videos. Like you see this one, you see the Chris Spillman video early on in the year when they put him in, the Ring of Honor or the Lion Pride as they call it. It's good to see that from an actual former player's point of view, because you guys love it because you get to see how human the athletes are. Like when you just watch athletes on a regular, just they go out there do their thing.
Oh,
You're
sure.
like, it's guy, whatever. But when you see a guy get emotional or just get dope, and he really appreciates the love and the fans, like that's what it's all about.
Oh, man, and we certainly appreciate and love you guys, man. Not only did we surpass 150, but we surpassed 160. We've surpassed 170.
Nice job,
and counting, man. Thanks so much, guys. You guys friggin' rock.
They're the Beeliners.
Love all you guys.
The
Thank you
Beeliners.
so much.
I love that.
Great day today. Maz, welcome back. Braylon, get us out of here.
Maz, you take us out of here.
Yeah,
You're back,
Maz,
man. You
get
take
us
us
out
out.
of here, Maz.
You take us out.
Come on, baby.
Johnny
Hey,
on
man.
the spot.
It's been fun. I love Tuesdays with Stan. Let's do it again tomorrow. I'll rip this sheet up, and we'll come up with a bunch of new stuff tomorrow. And I'm going to come up with a good guest for us for tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, man, I love it.
Little surprise guest that everyone's going to dig. And we're going to get about 500 people watching us at one time tomorrow.
I love a motivated man.
That's what I'm talking about right there, man. I felt it.
Look out.
Check us out. The Bottom Line on Woodward Sports Network. Don't forget, this weekend's huge. We got the fun underwear run. What do they call that? The funny run? What the hell they call it? Saturday, running your underwear down at the Tin Roof. And then, of course, we got the Stafford Bowl on Sunday. Make sure you're down there. Braylon's going to be down there.
I will.
I'm not sure if he'll be down there in his underwear, though, but he will be down there. Check us out on Woodward Sports tomorrow, Morning Wood, followed by Big D.
By the way, we've got some breaking news.
It'd be indecent exposure.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I talked.
Michigan expected to hire Vanderbilt's Jesse Minter as the school's new defensive coordinator, former Ravens assistant who brings experience in the defensive system. That's from Pete Thamel, from college football senior writer from ESPN.
So we traded Mike McDonald for him, I guess.
Yes, there you go.
Baltimore, another guy. We just asked in the beginning of the show who's going to be the D coordinator. Now you know.
Got your answer.
See you tomorrow, folks.
Larry!
Oh, my God. I don't remember Vanderbilt stopping too many people. But
I have heard from Calvin. I've heard from a bunch of old teammates. He was such a big part of my success in Detroit. It was so, such a great learning experience for me to watch a guy that's the greatest, at his craft at that position at the time, and to just the way he went around about his business, the way he treated people, the way he, did everything really was such great class and work ethic and all that. It was so fun for me to be around that and see that. So I appreciate him so much.